King Abdulaziz Al Saud, also known as Ibn Saud, was the founder and first king of Saudi Arabia. His life and accomplishments were monumental in shaping the modern kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Here's a comprehensive look at his history. Early life. Born 1880 in Riyadh, in what is now Saudi Arabia. His full name was Abdulaziz ibn Abdul Rahman Al Saud. Family. He was born into the Al Saud family, which had previously ruled parts of the Arabian Peninsula but had lost power by the early 19th century. Early challenges. His father, Abdul Rahman Al Saud, was exiled from Riyadh after the Saud family was ousted from power in 1891 by the rival Al Rashid family. Abdulaziz grew up in exile in Kuwait. Returned to power. The first conquest of Riyadh. In 1902, at the age of 22, Abdulaziz seized Riyadh from the Al Rashid family, marking the beginning of his campaign to reclaim his family's ancestral lands and establish a unified state. Consolidation of power. Over the next several decades, Abdulaziz expanded his influence and control over much of the Arabian Peninsula through a combination of military conquest, diplomacy, and alliances, notably with Bedouin tribes. He aimed to unite the various tribal factions under one banner. Key conquests and the formation of Saudi Arabia. Najd. After taking Riyadh, Abdulaziz focused on the central region of Najd and eventually gained control over it. Hijaz. One of his most significant military campaigns was the conquest of the Hijaz, the western part of the Arabian Peninsula, including the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, from the Hashemite family in 1924 to 1925. This action solidified his position as a leader with religious authority. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. In 1932, after successfully uniting most of the Arabian Peninsula under his rule, Abdulaziz proclaimed the establishment of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He became its first king, a title he held until his death in 1953. Leadership and reforms. Centralization of power. Abdulaziz worked to centralize authority in the new kingdom. He introduced a variety of reforms, including modernizing the military, bureaucracy, and infrastructure, while maintaining traditional values and tribal customs. Islamic authority. He emphasized the importance of Islamic unity and governance. He gained legitimacy through his support for the Wahhabi interpretation of Islam, a fundamentalist Sunni movement. This relationship helped solidify his rule over the conservative regions of Saudi Arabia. Economic development. While Abdulaziz maintained traditional governance structures, he also sought economic modernization. In 1933, the discovery of oil in Saudi Arabia transformed the kingdom. The agreement with the American company, Standard Oil of California, later Aramco, marked the beginning of Saudi Arabia's oil-driven economic rise. Foreign relations. Relationship with the West. Abdulaziz skillfully navigated relationships with Western powers, particularly the United States, which he saw as a source of economic and technological advancement. His relationship with the U.S. was formalized with the 1933 oil concession to American companies. Relations with Britain. Britain had previously held a significant influence in the region, especially in the Gulf. Abdulaziz negotiated with the British and maintained a generally cooperative relationship, although he was careful to ensure his kingdom's sovereignty. Personal life and family. Multiple marriages. Abdulaziz had many wives, more than 20, and fathered over 30 children, many of whom would go on to play significant roles in Saudi politics. Sons. Several of his sons became important figures in Saudi leadership, including King Saud, King Faisal, King Khalid, King Fahd, and King Abdullah. The system of leadership within the Al Saud family has generally passed from brother to brother, as opposed to father to son, ensuring that his legacy continued through the next generations. Death and legacy. Death. King Abdulaziz passed away on November 9, 1953, after suffering a heart attack. His death marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new phase in the development of Saudi Arabia. Successor. Abdulaziz was succeeded by his eldest son, King Saud, although his legacy continued with many of his sons playing prominent roles in Saudi leadership. The kingdom would continue to expand its oil wealth and modernize its infrastructure under the leadership of his descendants. Key achievements. Unification of the Arabian Peninsula. He transformed a collection of tribal regions into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, uniting them under one banner. Oil discovery. His policies and agreements, particularly with American oil companies, set the stage for Saudi Arabia's emergence as a global oil power. Religious leadership. As custodian of the Two Holy Mosques, a title he assumed after the conquest of the Hijaz, Abdulaziz reinforced the kingdom's status as the heart of the Islamic world. Economic transformation. His reign laid the groundwork for Saudi Arabia's modern economy, which would later depend on its vast oil resources.